I experienced a depression that lasted for over a decade, and I thought the only way to escape it was to physically die. And I ended up in a halfway house, and I slept in the attic because the women below in the house were frightened of me, and I thought I was the kindest person on the planet. People just didn't understand me. And as I was sleeping on the floor, one morning, a cockroach crawled over my foot. And I opened my eyes, and in place of all that darkness was a world that is indescribable. Basically, what I learned in that moment was that when I believed my thoughts, I suffered. But when I questioned my thoughts, I didn't suffer. And I've come to see that this is true for every human being. And those of you that have open minds, you are going to love this work. And again, this work is simply to question the mind. Little children can do it, and big children can do it. So what I invite you to do is fill in this Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. Use very short, simple sentences, and don't bother using wonderful, kind thoughts. We love those. We don't need to work on those. When I have the thought, I love you, I love that. When I have the thought and it's genuine and it's sincere, I don't need to work on that. I like that. So the stressful thoughts. So if there is someone in your life, and I invite you not to judge you this evening, you have a lifetime to do that. But if you really want to know about yourself, judge someone else. So if there's anyone in your life that you have not forgiven 100%, you may choose to write about that person this evening. You may have done so much work and just have just a little bit left. Go for it. Go for it. Don't be spiritual. Don't be wise. Don't be kind. This is the evening the ego's been waiting for. Let it out of its straitjacket and let it fly. We may as well. We've been trying to shut it up for years, and here it comes. So why don't we meet it this evening and see what does go bump in the night and the day and the night and the day. So let's begin. Short, simple sentences. And again, don't be spiritual, don't be wise. Judge your neighbor, write it down. If you're writing from maybe a situation that happened when you were 5 years old, 6 or 7 years old, write from the position where you are angry or hurt. Take yourself back to that time and let yourself out. Express it on paper. I say all war belongs on paper. So let's put it there now. So who would like to do the work this evening? Good.
My name's Linda.
Hi, Linda.
I just went on vacation with my roommate. So.
With your roommate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
Close quarters, huh?
Close quarters. I'm angry and upset and saddened at Patty because she flirts too much, is unconscious, is irresponsible, and she's lazy and she doesn't get it.
Yeah. So is Patty in the room?
No.
Okay.
No. No, it's not her, no.
So she flirts too much.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
It seems to be.
So she flirts too much.
Well, she pokes her chest out and everybody, and she, poses a lot. And
so that's her job.
Yeah.
How do I know that's her job? That's what she does. So if that's her job, how can she flirt too much?
That's a good point.
Yeah, everything has its job, everyone has their job, everything does its job. Not too much, not too little, exactly right. It's exactly the right proportion. So how do you react when you think the thought she flirts too much?
It just makes me feel really tense inside, and I used to flirt too much and don't anymore.
Yeah.
Not too much, not like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe you flirt too much for you.
Well, I think it used to be detrimental to me, so in my mind, I feel like it's detrimental to her.
Yeah, yeah. And can you really know that that's true, that it's detrimental to her?
Well, it seems, I guess, to work for her. I guess. I'm very judgmental, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I could name 10 more things that she does that drives me crazy.
Yeah. So who would you be on vacation with her without the thought she flirts too much when she's flirting?
I feel like I don't know who I am if I'm not judging someone. And when you were asking that question, it feels like almost frightening, like if I'm not trying to change everything around me, who would I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like a blank. And I don't always feel that way, but when I get caught up in judging another person, I start feeling that way.
Well, we do because we attack them, and if we don't question that attack mode, then it just continues, but only to your deathbed. So close your eyes and picture her flirting. Look at her. Good. Is she darling?
Yeah, she's good at it.
Yeah. That's who you'd be, watching her, just loving her, laughing. She flirts too much. Turn it around.
I flirt too much?
If you do it just one time, maybe that's too much for you. So just work with you. And you know that hurts you.
Yeah, it does.
So that's for you to live. Other people love flirting. Look at her. She's posing. She's at her best. Just having a wonderful life. Until we jump in and say, you flirt too much, or give them the look, or whatever it is that we do.
Oh, no, I only talk about her behind her back.
Painful stuff.
Yeah.
So she flirts too much. Can you find another turnaround?
About the flirting?
I flirt too much, and then there's another turnaround. She flirts too much. Can you find another opposite? She doesn't flirt too much.
Yeah. She doesn't. For her. Well, I mean, it's hard because she. I get what you're saying. I get it. But I do that. I go, yeah, but you don't understand because she's being irresponsible and she's not doing all the other things to take care and blah, 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 blah. So I just have to stop.
And be responsible. And responsible for you could be to stop.
Right.
If I see her as irresponsible, I am irresponsible in that moment. I don't have to look far in the past to find it. It's right now. What I think of her, I'm doing, and that is my pain. That is solid. You can find it every time, precious. Every time. Let's look at the next one.
Irresponsible. She's irresponsible. I used to be irresponsible.
You used to be irresponsible.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
very
on one scale, but when you're judging her, how responsible are you being to your peace?
Say that again.
In the moment you see her as irresponsible, how responsible in that moment are you being? You're costing you.
I'm being irresponsible to myself.
Yes, you're taking your partner and just slicing them,
Yeah.
annihilating them in your mind. And it shows on the body.
And of course, it feels like I'm being helpful. Trying to...
Yeah.
Am I the only one in here that...
So
Thank you.
Everyone relating, raise your hands. Yeah, that would be us.
No, it's hard to admit this stuff. I'd rather, it's not easy.
I know, honey, you're doing very well. It's really painful to feel jealousy. It's really painful to not like who we love.
Yeah, that's the way it feels.
Yeah.
And it is very painful. I mean, it sounds, I'm doing it in a funny light, but it's very
That's
uncomfortable.
painful. And also, while it's going on, we think, what is the matter with me? There's something the matter with me. I promised her I would love her. I promised me I would love her. What's the matter with me? So we feel
I
like,
want to run. I just want to go, I can't be friends with you
Yeah.
anymore. It's too much, too hard. But then I don't want to do that at the same time.
yeah. Let's look at the next one.
The next adjective or the next question?
Wherever you go with it.
Well, I think I'll just go to the next question when it says, I need Patty to change.
Is it true?
No.
We really believe we need other people to change for us to be happy. That's insane. So how do you treat her? How do you treat him, her, them, when you think the thought, I need her to change, and she doesn't? And you'll find the whole list of things you need to change within you.
Right.
That's all you need to change, so work on that. How do you react when you think the thought, I need her to change?
It makes me mad that she's not doing what I want her to do.
And how does that look when you're angry and you think the thought, I need her to change?
Well, it just makes me feel rotten that I can't. Sometimes I feel like I'm incapable of, or I don't have the right tools to not do that. So what I want to do is run, and I don't know how to like her. I'm trying to see her good points and not her bad points, and it's not easy.
No,
And she has lots of wonderful qualities.
of course, but that has nothing to do with it when we are attached to the thought, I need her to change. Because that is primary until we question it.
Well, what does it mean when, I was raised by 3 women, and they were all like that, really, really badly, very, judgmental and very critical and all that. So it's like, how much of that is learned and how much of it is just
Does it matter?
defense?
It hurts. It hurts. And no one taught me those things. I taught me those things. I thought they would give me power. I really believed it. And they gave me a kind of power for a while, and then no power at all. There was just never enough. So who would you be if you did not believe this lie, I need her to change?
Well, I would be less stressed. It's still hard for me to know.
There are 2 ways to be with someone. They're going to do what they do. So there are 2 ways to be with them, in pain and misery or free.
Right.
Either way, you're with them. So you could just sit down and work through it and go back for more. These people are our teachers.
I did this with all my husbands. That's why it's been, seriously, that's why
Yeah.
it's been all these husbands. And
Yeah.
it's like she's the first roommate I ever had, really, except for a guy.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm doing it again,
Yeah.
So
So I need her to change, turn it around.
I don't need her to change.
Because no matter what she does, you're still her roommate.
No, that was good. I can either suffer or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I couldn't stop my suffering. I had to question what I believed, and then my suffering ended until the next time. And I just went for that with my arms wide open. Because every time I questioned something, my whole life changed. It's like we work on the roommate, well, I'm still angry at her, but over here in these areas I didn't even work on, it's like, what's the matter here? I'm supposed to be angry, and I'm not. I'm supposed to be upset, and I'm not. I didn't know how to do that, and now I do. What happened? So you question what you believe, and there's an alchemy that takes place, that it's a gift. Let's look at the next one. Oh, I need her to change, turn it around.
I don't need her to change.
There's another turnaround also.
Wait a
I need
minute.
her to change. I need.
Me to change? Right.
Yeah.
It's so simple. The
Yeah.
answer is so simple, and I'm looking for this complicated,
Yeah. If my roommate flirts and everything, I get to watch. I get to watch her, watch them. I get to watch them, watch her. I get to watch her. I get to watch. I get to watch. And it's like I get to see what I used to look like.
Yeah, that's
And how well I did it, and how really no one's even looking, and how I thought they were. And I mean, it's a whole, without a story, reality. It's like you, all you, the story of you.
Yeah.
And where she doesn't change, yeah, that's me too.
And it's like I kind of know this stuff, but when I standing up here in front of all these people, it's like more integrated by.
Yeah, it really, it's like witnessing. And, hopefully we're all doing our own work. I know I am. And, we're a bit self-involved here. So.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one?
Oh, I thought we were done.
It was a thought.
Oh.
You never know.
Oh, he or she should face reality and stand on her own.
She is not standing on her own, is that true?
Well, she seems pretty dependent, but I guess she is standing on her own.
So where is she dependent? She's dependent, is that true? People around you are dependent, is that true?
It's dependent. Yeah.
So give me an example of how she's dependent.
Well, she's in debt up to the kazoo, and I told her that she could come live at my house for 6 months, rent-free, if she would pet sit for my dog while I was away, and save some money, and she didn't save it. She spent it compulsively. So
where is she dependent with you?
Where is she dependent with me? Well, I guess she isn't really, except she doesn't have to pay any bills right now.
Well,
So but she's not really dependent. I'm allowing her to be.
Yeah, you're offering it. You're
I
paying
offered
the
it.
bills.
I offered it to, but I offered that to her, and then she didn't do what I expected her to do, and.
Yeah, so you were dependent on her to do that, and then she didn't do it.
Oh, shut up, guys. Yeah. No, it's true. I wanted.
I've been told that before.
I needed to feel needed, I guess. I needed to feel like I had done something for someone and that they were going to respond.
So look at your dependence.
To my great help and wisdom. And
so look at your dependence on love and approval.
Yeah, exactly. Because, it's not just. I guess it's not just enough, that I'm just a friend, that I have to offer up something special to.
That you're dependent on that.
Yeah.
On that love, approval, and appreciation.
Can we meet like once a week?
What city do you live in?
I actually have lived here for 32 years in Boston. But
so any groups here, of family?
Well, I'm moving to I'm moving to Nashville. To Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay, anyone here from Asheville? There's an inquiry circle in Asheville, I think.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. If you go to the website, they're like crop circles popping up all over the world.
Okay. Cool.
It's 2 circles and they face each other. And then you get a concept. Like, I should have known better. And then the inside circle holds that one-liner and the outside circle facilitates it with the 4 questions without crosstalk. Then after about 3 or 4 minutes, someone says switch, and the outside circle moves, and you begin again. And it's a radical process. Very simple, but radical. Let's look at the next one. So she's dependent, turn it around.
I'm dependent.
Yeah.
Well, the last one, when it says, what 3 things do you most fear will happen? I said, what 3 things I think would happen based on what Patty should do, not what would happen to. So what I said was, what 3 things do you most fear will happen? And I said, she will end up miserable.
Okay, so this is your dependence again.
Yeah.
Patty's going to end up miserable. Can you
I'm
absolutely...
the one that's miserable?
Yeah. So can you absolutely know that it's true that she's going to end up miserable?
No.
So how do you react when you think that thought and you believe it? She's going to end up miserable.
I start wanting to lecture her to death and change her
And buy her.
Right.
And house her.
Yeah.
That's how you live when you think that thought. And it's okay, we're just noticing. But then we call them dependent. So Patty would be miserable. Who would you be without that story?
Bored.
Who would you be if you did not believe that? Patty is going to end up miserable.
Well, I'd probably be more open-minded and hopeful.
So let's dialogue it. You be someone that really needs me, that is absolutely miserable. Okay? Give me a sad story about how you need a home. And
Okay.
I'll be you. I'll be a loving human being.
I don't know what I'm going to do, Katie. I don't know where I'm going to go. I have nowhere to go, no money.
Oh, honey, my goodness. I hear you have no money. You don't know where you're going to go.
Mm-mm.
That must be terrible.
It is terrible. Can I come home with you?
Oh, my goodness. You know, this is quite a story. And no, you can't come home with me.
You bitch.
Really looks like it, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah.
But that
Really
stops
looks
you
that
dead in
way.
your tracks, doesn't it, huh?
Well, you know, what's happening is I'm listening. I'm listening. But I may offer my home, but not out of dependence and not fearful for, you know, their misery. I'm going to really listen first. Because I could be with a person smarter than I am with more survival skills than I have. And I could learn a lot. Learn a lot.
Well, I have learned something from having her there.
Yeah. So she's going to end up miserable, turn it around.
I'm good.
You have ended up miserable.
Or she's not going to end up miserable.
Yeah. It's like, you know, your roommates, and, you know, we don't know if she's miserable or not.
I don't think so.
But it doesn't sound like it. She's got the posing thing going, and
Yeah, she's great
she's
at
not
posing.
responsible. She's a good place to live.
Yeah.
But you're miserable. So it's always, you know, I am what I think you are in the moment.
Yeah.
I am what I think you are in the moment. Let's look at the next one. What's the next fear?
I can't remain her friend because she's such a loser.
Okay. Well, isn't that the way we think? Is there anyone here that has never had that thought?
But when I said I can't remain, it's like I feel sad that I can't remain her friend because she does all these things.
Okay, so
It's too bad. Like, if she would change, then I could stay her from it because she...
Yeah, so I'll ask you to move and you just be outrageous, okay? So I will be you, a loving human being that really loves this roommate. And I want her to leave. I'm very clear. So what's her name?
Patty.
Patty, I want you to leave.
But I can't leave. I'm trying to whine.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have anywhere to go.
Well, let's sit down and talk about it because I want you to leave Monday.
But where will I go? I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have any money. Where am I going to stay? What am I going to do?
I don't know.
How could you do this to me?
I don't know that either. I just know that...
Well, what am I supposed to do? You want me to just sleep out in the street?
You'll know by Monday.
No, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and she probably would have no problem moving.
Yeah, she has 5 sisters.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's good, those boundaries. But
Well, it's just the truth. It's not a boundary, it's the truth. But I don't have a dependence because I've questioned my mind.
the last one's the sad one.
Let's hear it.
I'm afraid she'll end up alone.
Ooh, I would turn that one around.
Yeah.
This is about you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It really is kind of sad when you think about it, but I don't admit it, I don't think.
Well, you just did.
Both of my parents just passed away. I'm divorced. I have no siblings and no children, so it's like lately I've been,
Yeah, it's your fear.
and I'm moving to a town where I don't know a soul.
Yeah, very exciting.
But it's also easy to feel like, oh my God, I'm really alone. I used to didn't care. And so many people around me, it's like, oh.
So here's one for you. It's possible to be alone. Is that true?
Yes.
And if you were on, okay, we're everywhere. There's nowhere you can go that we're not there. Television, radio, the market. At home, there we are. You turn on the radio, we walk by your house. We're everywhere.
I have a great dog.
Great dog, so you're not alone.
Yeah.
But if the whole world were wiped out, we'd still be there, right here.
Yeah.
The whole world, right here. You cannot get away from us. So as long as you see us, as long as you're dependent on us, just welcome to the work. So, sweetheart, this is your fear to be alone. It doesn't sound like, you might just ask her, do you ever have a fear of just being alone? And see what she says. She might laugh. Who knows? Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good job. Thank you.
So let's begin.
I resent my boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend because they're trying to maintain emotional intimacy.
Is that true? What does that mean to you, emotional? Well, what does it mean to him, emotional intimacy? What does that mean to him?
I hate doing this because I know that this is not founded in anything, and everybody, it's like it's kind
Okay,
of
so
it's really
let's
immature.
go back. Well, we are, honey. We're children at 90. We're just taking a look at mind. So, as you answer the questions, you discover at the same time. It's a wonderful trip. It's a little threatening sometimes too, but
I've been through this like year after year since as long as I can remember, and the defense is so strong, it doesn't change. And I'm new to the work, and I'm excited about it because it seems like you gotta give it up. But
well, what I've learned is as I question my mind, give up happens. It's not something I have to do. It just kind of falls away once the truth is seen. Freedom. So, what does emotional intimacy mean to him?
I don't know what it means to him, but what it looks like to me is that he has thoughts about her. Maybe he wishes that I were more like her in certain ways. Maybe he.
Do you love him?
Yes.
And if that's what he wants?
No, I don't want him to have that.
That's not love.
I don't care. I don't care.
Exactly. That's honest. So, sweetheart, I don't really love you, and I only want you to want what I want you to want.
But what is love anyway? I mean, we're all just here serving ourselves.
Personalities
basically.
don't love. They want
Right.
something.
Right.
So you're just a very honest person. Just are you honest with him? So, sweetheart, I do not ever want you to have a life without checking in with me.
That's basically
And by
what
the
I
way,
want.
everything that you think, check in with me first. And if you think you can do that, we're going to have a really happy life together. Are you happy when he's happy?
Yes.
Isn't
yeah.
that what you want?
But not when he's happy with something that I'm not happy with.
Well, as long as you let him know that, it's a beginning.
Yeah, we have
When he
good
says, do you love
communication.
me? Do you really care about me? You can say, no, not at all.
Is that what love is? That I want him to do things that hurt me?
We'll ask you.
I don't think that's what love is.
Well, sweetheart, what I can tell you is my husband can't do anything that hurts me yet. And I'm open.
Wait, can you say that again? That he doesn't do anything that
When
hurts me.
when he loves someone, I support it. Because I love him.
Even
when
if
he's
his attention,
happy,
his
I'm
attention is going to that person.
Absolutely, I'm spared. He's happy and I don't have to be a part of it. You know, I'm free and he's happy.
I'm not there. I want his
Well,
attention.
not there yet. Well, not there that you realize. You want his attention, why? What does that give you?
Fulfillment, joy.
A sense of security.
Security.
Yeah, a sense of
Pleasure,
security.
too.
Oh yeah, there's nothing greater than I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeah. So let's hear what you've written.
I want my boyfriend to have fidelity for me. I want the ex-girlfriend to stop toying with his heart.
He is not faithful to you. Is that true? Is he monogamous? Yes or no?
Does monogamous include thoughts?
Let's ask you. Oh, yeah. If he doesn't shape up, have you ever thought about who's next? So, you know, what I'm getting from you is it does include thoughts.
Yeah, so he's not monogamous.
No. Turn it around.
I'm not monogamous.
Yeah, so you both have everything in common.
But I try to be monogamous.
Well, maybe you're just like
to
him.
most of the world, it doesn't even seem like an issue. Like that this is...
So, sweetheart, maybe he's trying to be monogamous too. Maybe he's just like you. Maybe he is he doesn't feel like he has to lose old friends in order to be monogamous with you. Well, you know, our mind goes where it goes.
But how, the old friends part is what I've heard, and this is not a new situation. This is why I know this is not him, because this is with every relationship I've ever been in.
Yeah.
So
It would have to be.
yeah.
Okay, so read it again.
I want my boyfriend to have fidelity to me. I want the ex-girlfriend
You
to
want
stop.
him to be faithful to you, and
Yeah.
we'll say that's the mind.
Okay.
Like he splits off through his mind. That's your story. He's not monogamous. His mind goes to her.
Yeah, and
That's
his
your
attention
story.
goes to her.
And his attention goes to
yeah.
her. Okay. So he's not faithful. Is that true? Not faithful to you when he is being with her. Can you absolutely know that that's true?
No, I can't know that that's true.
And how do you react when you think that thought? when
I
he's
go
with her?
into panic. I freak out.
And how does it feel to freak out like that?
It sucks.
And how do you treat him when you think that thought and you're freaking out?
Violently.
Yeah. And how does that feel inside of you when you attack him?
I feel guilty.
violently?
I feel shame. I feel
Yeah.
like, why would he want me anyway?
Yeah.
You know?
And then also in that attack is your innocence. Attacking him is an attempt to prove your innocence. Can you find it?
Attacking him is an attempt to prove my innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
But I'm really convinced of my innocence.
Yeah. As we attack. And that attack says, I don't love you, I don't care about you, you're off, I give you all the reasons, and by the way, I'm innocent. Attack is about proving innocence. It's an attempt. And it's old. Who would you be without this thought? Who would you be when he is with her if you could not make yourself believe that he is not faithful?
I mean, I can say these words, but it's not true for me. I don't feel this, but I could say the words that, well, I would be really happy for him. I would just be thrilled that he was, having a great time.
So that would be more like you. We're not quite there yet. Isn't that where you feel the most peace? When you're happy for him? When you're happy for him, happy is happy. You're feeling happy.
Yeah, but not with when it's different. If he's eating a great meal and he's really happy, or he does, makes a great accomplishment at work and he's happy, that's a different feeling of happy.
So who would you be? See if you can hear the question. Who would you be if it were not possible to believe that he was not faithful when he was with her?
It'd be really sweet.
Okay, so now here's what we're learning from you, those of us really listening. With the thought, you attack him. Without the thought, the opposite. So how can he be your problem? With thought, believing that thought, you attack. When you don't believe the thought, you don't attack. In fact, the opposite.
I think what I'm feeling is that the thought protects me against what might happen. And
so when you're attacking him, are you protected?
No.
Everything you're afraid is going to happen, you're bringing on. The worst that can happen, you're living. With a thought, you attack him. With not believing the thought, you don't. So how can he be your problem? How can anyone outside of you be your problem? Not possible. If you think someone is hurting you, you are quite insane. You're believing your thoughts. And that's okay. Just know that that belief is what's hurting you, not that person. Not that person. Understand?
I'm just trying to think of what will I do when I fly into the next rage, like when I'm really convinced again, what is the I'm trying to take home a strategy,
Yeah, well, just work with mind, and you get to find out on time. So let's turn it around. He's not faithful to me when he's with her. Turn it around.
He's faithful to me when he's with her.
Could be just as true. He keeps coming back to you. There's another turnaround. He's not faithful to me when he's with her.
I'm not faithful to him when he's with her.
You tear him to shreds in your mind. In your mind, you're probably planning every way to leave him and
make him suffer.
Attack, attack, attack. You're not faithful to him when he's with her. So you project he's doing the very same thing. If I think he's not being faithful to me, turned around, I'm not being faithful to him. For all I know, they didn't even hook up today. There's another turnaround. He's not faithful to her. Turned around, I'm
not faithful to her. There's nothing in me that wants to be faithful to her.
Mm-hmm. This may be pushing the envelope a little, but when we look at how we treat them, it's really nice to know they have somewhere to go.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like she's taking care of him when I'm mentally ill. And it's amazing, he keeps coming home to you. You attack him, and he keeps coming home to you. She's very nice to him, and he keeps coming home to you. In fact, violently attack him.
Yeah.
So, sweetheart, there's another turnaround. He's not faithful to me when he's with her.
I'm not faithful to myself when he's with her.
Tell me about that one. Where does your mind go?
I try to do a lot of work with jealousy to understand what it is and what it seems like. It has something to do with me placing my sense of the beloved out onto someone else
Sense
instead
of
of
the beloved. is
keeping
there.
it with me.
It's like when you love him, you love you for loving him.
Yeah.
When you don't like him, you don't like you for not liking him. Because he is your projected. And you are the projector. He is only who you believe him to be. And until you question your mind, you live with the enemy. And it gets very confusing because you love him. So you question the mind, it leaves only that connection with the beloved, the beloved. Always faithful to yourself. And when you're not, there's an enemy. And the attempt at your own innocence you attack. Let's look at the next one.
My boyfriend and the ex-girlfriend shouldn't cheat me out of intimacy.
Turn it around.
Should cheat me out of intimacy.
Well, up to now. So I shouldn't.
I shouldn't cheat myself out of intimacy.
With him and yourself. And her. You don't have to go there yet. We're just walking through your...
Does it really help to just say the words? I mean, it's just words at this point.
Honey, you don't know what's
so
going
don't feel it.
on. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know.
Yeah.
Let's look at the next one.
I need my boyfriend to see that I am enough.
He doesn't see that you're enough. Is that true?
Well, he goes, I mean, he has other, other women friends that he's intimate with, not sexually, but emotionally. And to me, that's the same. It's like, where do you draw the line,
He sounds like a well-adjusted human being.
He is.
Read it again.
I need my boyfriend to see that I am enough.
He doesn't see that you're enough for him. Is that true?
To me, it's proof that if he needs to have other friends...
Do you have other friends?
If he asked me to not have those friends, I would do it in a second. Yes, I do have other friends. But I feel like it's different for women and men. I don't know. It's
So
like
you would
thing.
give up all of your friends if he asked you to do that? Is that true?
Yeah, I don't need them. I'm like, I talk to them once in a while on email or like a phone call once a year, friend, in terms of past boyfriends,
No,
and
I'm talking about friends.
And so if it were the reverse, other male friends, do I have other male friends that I hang out with and that I'm intimate with?
No, that wasn't the question.
Do I have
you
other
have
friends?
other
Yes.
friends? Okay. And you would give them up if he asked you to?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because I really want this relationship to be everything it can be.
And if you gave them all up, that would make him happy. Can you absolutely know that that's true? I mean, this is just too far out. He hasn't even asked that. It's you that's asking that.
Yeah, because I want that from him.
Yeah. Is that true? You want him to give up his whole world and just focus on you?
No, it's not true.
So just sit with that. You know, you're getting to know you. You are the woman who does not want him to give up his friends.
But then when there's situations where it's really threatening, I do want that. I do want him to step out of those scenarios.
It goes like this. The way he lives is okay for you. The reason that I know it's okay for you is that you stay. It's okay with you because you stay. When it's not okay with you, you go. So far it's okay with you. So as long as you're there, let's work on it. Let's look at the next one.
I need the ex-girlfriend to stop trying to charm my boyfriend and seduce him and try to get his attention.
So turn it around.
I need to stop trying to charm him and seducing him and getting his attention.
Tell me about that so you can hear it.
I don't even think I'm very charming. I mean, when I fly into these rages, I'm pretty not charming.
I really get that. So tell me about the other part, where you try to seduce him with your charm so he will not have these other friends.
Yeah, I want to be the only thing, I want it to be the main thing for him. I want to know that I matter to him.
So you turn into the seducer, the what does it say here?
The charmer, the one
charmer.
that tries to get his attention.
That sounds like a lot of effort.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't work, you attack.
I attack. And in the past, I leave, you know.
So you think that they do what you do. You're projecting your actions, your falseness onto them.
But I've seen them do it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As they're talking to him, you have to project that. Nothing else is possible. So tell me, in front of you, give me an example of how someone tried to seduce him in front of you. What did she say? What did she do?
This is really uncomfortable for me.
You know what I'm doing here? It's like, where's your proof?
Okay, we're all musicians, and we were at a New Year's Eve club on New Year's Eve playing a show together. And she's a backup singer in his band. And after the show, I mean, she did many things on stage which I had to excuse because it's in the name of showmanship. Yeah. Like rub up against him and all that stuff that makes me go crazy. Mm-hmm. And then after the show, they got really drunk, and I don't drink, so even there was like a barrier. I couldn't relate to where they were, and they were really, having a lot, just partying and having a good time. It's not a way, to me, it's not a good time.
What did she say or do that led you to believe she was trying to seduce him?
He and her boyfriend were sort of palling it up and like being really affectionate and hugging and stuff. And so she came over to me and in a very, very sexualized gesture came over and started like pretending like she was making out with me to make fun of them. And so then he turned to me and said something that's too crude to say here. And I know he was drunk, and I know that
so
she was drunk.
You realize that has nothing to do with the question that I ask?
But that's what she tried to do to seduce him. That's what she did to get his attention. That's what she did to charm him. That's what she was doing.
So it doesn't sound like it charmed him.
It did. It had exactly the reaction she wanted.
I don't get it, but you do. So let's look at the next one.
The next one is the list. The ex-girlfriend is needy, manipulative, untrustworthy, conniving, dangerous, greedy.
Okay, so let's turn it around one by one for all of us. For all of us, because you know, it is so wonderful when your children, your parents, your lovers, your partners, your strangers, everyone comes at you with these. This is practice on, do you really want to know the truth? So you go in as they come at you. And she'll probably be softer, but some of them will come off with, like that. And when they came at me like that, I would think, how loud do they have to get for me to get it? Because I was so dense, but only for 43 years. So the first one, I am
needy.
Can you find it? Where are you needy?
Yeah.
Where are you so needy that you would try to pull another off of their path for your convenience? You know, I don't care about your path. I don't care about you. Don't care what you want. Focus here on me. Yeah, I love you. Focus here. I am needy. I'm needy. I'm working on it.
I'm manipulative.
Where are you manipulative? Again? Yeah. This one said, I've only read about it. Yeah, where are you manipulative with him? And where do you manipulate your own mind? And you really did some good work with that, you know, how you manipulate him for his focus to be on you. The next one?
I'm untrustworthy.
Yeah, you say you'll love him no matter what, and you fall out of love like that.
I'm conniving, I'm dangerous, I'm greedy.
Conniving, especially when it comes to him.
Yeah,
And greedy, especially when it comes to him.
yeah.
Yeah. It's the truth that sets us free. So if anyone ever says, are you greedy? You can say, yeah. Yeah, I am.
I don't have too much problem with the honesty. I think I'm just, like, the defense, again, is like, I can't give up these thoughts.
Sweetheart, if he left you, what's the worst that would happen?
I'd be in the same place that I've been again and again and again and again in my adult life. And I'd be like at the end of my rope, emotionally.
Isn't that where you are when you're thinking like this, even with him?
Yeah.
So the worst can happen, you're already living.
Yeah.
So if she wins, you're just left with you again, which is what you've got when you're with him.
But she wins. I can't let that happen.
Well, you know, there's a way of looking at that. When he's with her, think of how intimate he'll want to be with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your story about him. Look what she's getting. She's getting the man who wants to be friends with all of his old relationships. Maybe that's what you want for her. You can't lose, honey, that's all I'm saying. You're just left with this. With him or without him, you're left with this. Let's look at the next one.
I don't ever want to take second place to a manipulative woman, be tormented by all of my boyfriend's friendships with women.
I'm willing. Could happen again. The mind could go off on its insane little trip. I'm willing. Worst can happen is you enter the insane nightmare again and you wake you up.
Why is something so silly, why can something so dumb cause so much torment? I mean, I can see that as I read this is really dumb, but at the same time, it really flips me out.
Sweetheart, people kill over this. They murder. They spend lives in jail, they're executed. This is not nothing. They rob banks to keep people in their lives. They attack people to keep them in their lives. We try everything. There's self-murder that's always going on. The murder of the self. All the love in your heart. These thoughts, unquestioned, block that. You lose the awareness when you're in them. You just sit down. I'm willing.
I'm willing to take second place to a manipulative woman.
I look forward to. Close your eyes. See if you can get a picture of the two of them together.
Katie, I want to bash that against the wall when you say that.
Yeah. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, honey. You've taken a pretty major trip. So read it again the way you wrote it.
I don't ever want to take second place to a manipulative woman and be tormented by all of my boyfriend's friendships.
So look how often in your mind you take a second place position. Over and over and over. So when we say, I'm willing to, it could happen again in our minds. And because we're willing to, we're open to sitting down and finding our way. Because he cannot give you happiness. Can't happen. You're responsible for that. And rather than going through life like that, defending, we just be open to that mental experience again. And sit down because he's gone, and in your mind, he's just preferring her, and you're feeling guilty about the way you've attacked him. So you sit down and be responsible for working your way through it.
I want to say this because there's so much love right here and I know this is the only place I'm ever going to be able to say this, so I want to say I look forward to taking second place to anyone if they're going to make him happy.
Yeah, it just had to come out of you because that's the bottom line truth of it. That's why you don't want to lose him. You just adore this guy. So can you close your eyes now? Take another shot at it. What do you see?
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
And when I take the me out of it, it's like nothing, It's just a movie or something.
Exactly so. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a movie. Hollywood, they're just so good at putting it on the screen, and when something happens, go, oh my gosh, we're in it. And the mind is the same way. It runs the movie. And when it's beautiful, we love it. But when it's not, we can question it, and we can wake ourselves up and see that the nightmare is just a movie. Just a movie. And that's our responsibility. Otherwise, we attack people we love, and then we feel guilt over it. And that's confusion. And confusion's the only suffering on the planet. There isn't any other. Like if Stephen wants to leave me, I get very, very excited because who could give him more happiness than I could? And he deserves that. And it makes me happy to know that he's happy. And it's like, who could be better than me? And it would be just like Stephen to see such beauty in people, and then I could see it too. And if I don't, and if he doesn't, then there's something off somewhere. And it happens that he's monogamous through his actions, and that's my story. But in his mind, how can I know? Where is my mind? That's all I need to know. I am my partner. I'm the one I love. So that's all I can project onto him, or you, because I have taken care of this. I've given it what it's always been looking for, and that is peace with itself. And all I really did was question it and sit with it. Like my beloved child, you know.
Dear Katie, it's been 3 months since I sat with you and did the work on the jealousy I felt around my boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend. I'm amazed to report that a profound change seems to have taken place as a result of our time together. I feel like I'm in a secret little love affair with myself, and that whatever happens on the outside is just fine. Somehow, without trying, I've let go of the need to control the love my boyfriend feels for other people. This has allowed me to see him for the deeply loving man he is, and to love him even more for it. And now I see his ex-girlfriend as an ally, helping me to bring him all the love he can possibly receive. I see her with compassion and respect. This is a miracle. If you had told me that I could feel this way toward her, I would have thought you were insane. She's actually a wonderful person. I still feel threatened sometimes when I see his love going to someone else, but now I question my thoughts and I set myself free. Thank you, Katie, for sharing with me the key. Love, Marga.